현재 일리노이주는 최악의 재정 상태입니다. 900억 달러가 넘는 연금 적자에 예산 없이 7개월째 운영되고 있는데요. 대표적인 친한파 주의원 3명으로부터 일리노이 예산 문제와 연금 적자에 대한 의견을 들어봤습니다.
The legislature did pass a budget last May, and we sent it to the governor. We sent it to him knowing it was a spending plan, and we were short. But we thought that this is going to start the conversation because there are a lot of opportunities that could have taken place at that point. We could have talked about revenue, or the governor could have used his line item veto pen and taken out the expenditures that he didn't feel were necessary. But instead, he signed the K-12 education budget and vetoed all the other budgets, and that's still where we are right now.
So I think there is definitely gridlock, and because we're 7 months now without a full budget for the state of Illinois, which is having very tragic and dire consequences out there in every community across Illinois. I'm not sure what breaks it. If I knew the answer to that question, I would figure out a way to make that happen. But right now, it feels to me like you've got leaders that are very dug into their position and not willing to move.
The state is functioning in a very strange way. There are 4 things that are happening. Some money is being spent because it can be spent without an annual budget being passed. It's just in the law that that money gets spent automatically. Things like payments to bondholders the state owes money to, payments into the pension fund. That's one category. The next category is that the governor did sign one of our budget bills. That was the elementary and secondary education bill. So schools are being funded because we do have a school budget. Number 3, there are all kinds of lawsuits and court orders that are directing certain areas of spending to happen. Things like state employees are being paid because a court in St. Clair County said they should. Medicaid payments are mostly being paid because of a court order in Cook County. And then the last category is things that aren't being paid, like higher education, universities, human services, domestic violence, immigrant services, and so forth. And so the state is kind of limping along because of all these decisions made by judges, but a lot of things that should be happening aren't happening, and the state is hurting as a result. Additionally, because the courts have ordered so much spending, we're still in a deficit. So even though we don't have a budget, more money is going out the door than is coming in, and our debt is getting worse and worse and worse every day. Universities aren't being funded. The community colleges aren't being funded, though we did pass a bill yesterday that, if the governor were to sign it, would address that. The MAP grants, these are tuition assistance for poor students, aren't being funded, and enormous amounts of human service programs aren't being funded, including a lot of supports for immigrants, a lot. And what we're starting to see is that the human service network in Illinois is beginning to evaporate. Agencies are closing, people are quitting, looking for jobs outside of the social service sector. It's a huge, huge problem. And you shouldn't be surprised because, as you said, the state has gone now more than 200 days without a budget, 7 months in a few days. We need to sit down and solve this problem. There is a lot of other issues that the governor wants to talk about. We can argue about those forever. Those are healthy arguments. But today we need a budget. We need to sit down across the table and come to an agreement about the budget. And every day that goes on, when we don't do that, somebody else is being hurt for no reason.
Coming together of the leadership in order to say what's happening right now is unacceptable. We're destroying not only the social service infrastructure, but higher education, all manner of infrastructure in Illinois. We need to come together and put our ideology, our extreme ideology aside and figure out a way to make this work.